Bear by Jane Hussey. It wasn't anyone's birthday, but Bromwell Brown had a feeling that today was going to be a special day. He was thinking thoughtfully on the windowsill with his friends Duck, Rabbit, and Little Bear, and he suddenly remembered that someone wasn't there who should be. A very long time ago, he had seen his good friend Old Bear being packed up away in a box. Then he was taken up a ladder through the trapdoor and into the attic. The children were being too rough with him and needed somewhere too safe to go for a while. Has he been forgotten, you think? Bromwell asked his friends. I think he might be, said Rabbit. Well, Little Bear said, it isn't time to come back down with us. The children are older now and would look after him properly. Let's go get him. What a marvelous idea, said Bromwell. But how do we rescue him? It's a long way up the attic and we haven't got the ladder. We could build a tower of bricks, suggested Little Bear. Rabbit collected all the bricks of the others set up about building the tower. It grew very tall and the little bear was just putting the last brick and the tower began to wobble. Look out, he cried. The whole thing came tumbling down. Never mind, said Bromwell, helping Little Bear on his feet. We'll just have something else. Let's try making ourselves into a tower, said Doc. Good idea, said Bromwell. Little Bear climbed up the top of Rabbit's head and Rabbit hopped up on Doc's beak. They stretched up as far as they could, but the duck opened its beak to say something, and Rabbit wobbled and they all collapsed on top of Bromwell. Sorry, said Doc. Perhaps that wasn't a very good idea. Not one of your best replies, Bromwell from somewhere underneath the heap. I know, said Rabbit. Let's try bouncing on the bed. Trust you think that, Bromwell said. You can never resist a bit of bouncing, especially when it's not allowed. Rabbit climbed the bed and began to bounce up and down. The others joined him. They bounced higher and higher, and they still couldn't reach the trapdoor in the ceiling. Doc began to cry. Oh dear. He stopped. What are we going to do now? We will never be able to rescue Old Bear. He's going to be stuck up there, getting lonelier and lonelier, ever and ever. We must give up, said Bromwell firmly. Come on, little bear, you're so good at ideas. But Little Bear already noticed the plant in the corner of the room. I've got it, he cried. I could climb up the pan, swing at the leaf, kick the cup door open, and jump in. The case wobbled. Brunville and Dr. Rabbit stirred up the pot. Little Bear bravely climbed up the plant until he reached the very top leaf. He took hold of it and started to swing. And he threw, but he swung so hard that the leaf broke and he was crashing down. Luckily, Brunville Brown was running underneath to catch his paws. That was a rotten idea, said Little Bear. What was I thinking? Doc, said Doc. What was a pity I can't fly very well, as I could have been crying as help. Aha, said Bromwell. That, my dear Doc, has given me the very good idea. I really think this might work. In the corner of the playroom, a little wooden aeroplane with a propeller went around and around. We could use this plane to get to the trap door, said Bromwell. Rather dangerous. I know that, but cried honestly. I can't bear to think of this old bear up there alone for a minute longer. I will be the pilot, said Rabbit, hopping up and down, making the aeroplane noises, and I'll stand up on the back to push the trapdoor open with my paintbrush, said the little bear. But how will you get down? Asked Doc. I already thought of that, said Bromwell. We hadn't really, but quickly did. They had used these handkerchiefs as parachutes, and we can clash them in the blanket. Bromwell gave Little Bear two bigger handkerchiefs and a torch so he could see into the attic. They began to wind up the propeller of the plane. Rabbit and Little Bear climbed above, and Bromwell began to count down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. They were off. The plane whistled along the carpet and flew into the air. The little plane flew beautifully, and the first time they passed the trapdoor, Little Bear was able to push the lid open with his paintbrush. Then Rabbit circled the plane again. This time, very close to the hole, Little Bear grabbed the edge with a mighty heavy. He pulled himself inside. He got out his torch and looked around. The attic was very dark and quiet, full of boxes, old clothes, and dust. He could see Old Bear as the all. Any bears here? He whispered, and stood still to listen. From somewhere quite nearby, he heard something muffled. Grrr. Followed by, did somebody say something? Little Bear moved a few things aside, and there propped up against the cardboard. The box was covered in dust and was a bear. Little Bear jumped in up and down with excitement. Old Bear, I found Old Bear, he shouted. So you have, said Old Bear. Yeah. Have you been lonely? asked Little Bear. Quite lonely, said the Old Bear, but I've been asleep for a long time. Well, Little Bear kindly said, would you like to come back to the playroom with us? So that would be lovely, replied Old Bear. But how would we get down? Don't worry about that, Little Bear said. The Bromwell has thought of everything, and he has gave us handkerchiefs as parachutes. Good on Bromwell, said the old teddy. I am glad he didn't forget me. Old Bear stood up and shook the dust out of his fur. Little Bear helped him to his parachute and ran over the hole in the ceiling. Ready, shouted Rabbit. Steady, shouted Duck. Go, said Bromwell Brown. The two bears leapt bravely from the hole and in the ceiling. The handkerchief parachutes opened out and they floated gently down, landing safely in the blanket. Welcome home, Old Bear, said Bromwell Brown, patting his friend on the back. The others patted him too, just to make him feel at home. It's nice to have you back. They said, it's nice to be back, replied Old Bear. That night, when all the animals were tucked up in bed, Brownwell talked of all the day's adventures and looked around the others. Rabbit was dreaming of excitement and dreams about bouncing as high as an aeroplane. Duck was dreaming that he could really fly and was rescuing bears from all sorts of fireplaces. Little Bear was dreaming of the interesting things he had seen in the attic, and the Old Bear was dreaming about the good times he would have now back with his good friends. I knew it was going to be a special day, said Bromwell Brown to himself.